Well, good morning, guys. How in the world are y'all doing this morning? I hope y'all are doing good. I say morning. This is when I'm doing it. This is Wednesday morning, but you may be seeing this on Friday evening. Who knows? But I am glad to be with you guys. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad all of y'all are here. Let me get I got a new magnifying glass to see who's here today. Let's see. Oh, all right. Let's have a roll call. Freddie, are you there? All right. Ethan. All right. How about Christian? Josh? Rehan? Remy? John? You know, John, I talked to your mother yesterday, or yeah, one day this week. She said you like Peppa Pig and you like the Paw Patrol, and Caleb likes those, and we like those too. So I'm glad to be able to get on here and read some of that to you. Say hello, John. Hey, Libby. And then Roshan and old Caleb. Man, it's good to see y'all. I am glad y'all are here today. I'm glad all of y'all are with us, and it's going to be a great day. We're going to have a good time. I was thinking about Peppa Pig. Now, I used to be able to talk like Peppa Pig, and I used to read books, and I would read them to the class. But the reason I knew about Peppa Pig and I could talk like Peppa Pig because I watched it all day long, because Caleb would watch it on TV. And so we would watch Peppa Pig, and it just got easy to be able to sit there and listen to Peppa Pig. Wait a minute.
And she'll be rescued by a handsome prince who will give her a kiss.
Mommy's stuck in the bush now, and so we're going to...
You'd have adventures like that.
Can someone think of a way to get me out of here?
Uh-oh, Mom is stuck in the bush. So I was gonna try to read a story to you. One of my favorite authors is Shel Silverstein, and he wrote a book. I've got a book here by him. It's called Where the Sidewalk Ends. And he got a pic. I think he drew his own pictures of this stuff too. He drew the pictures of the kids looking off the end of the sidewalk. I'm glad the sidewalk really doesn't end. But he wrote a poem called Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout Would Not Take the Garbage Out. Any of y'all ever heard of that song, poem, whatever you call it? You ever heard of that? I thought, you know, that'd be great if I could do that. Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout would not take the garbage out. She'd scrub the dishes and wash the pans, cook the yams and spice the hams, and lo, her parents would scream and shout. She simply would not take the garbage out. I can't do it. I can try, but I can't do it. But I can do it for you. Oh, Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout would not take the garbage out. She'd scrub the dishes and wash the pans, cook the yams and spice the hams, and lo, her parents would scream and shout. She simply would not take the garbage out. And so it piled up to the ceilings, coffee grounds, potato peelings, brown bananas and rotten peas, chunks of soured cottage cheese. It filled the can, it covered the floor with, it crocked the windows and blocked the doors with bacon rinds and chicken bones, drippy ends of ice cream cones, prune pits, peach pits, orange peels, gloppy glumps of cold oatmeal, pizza crusts and withered greens, soggy beans and tangerines, crusts of black burnt buttered toast, grizzly bits of beefy roast. The garbage rolled on down the hall. It raised the roof. It broke the wall. Greasy napkins, cookie crumbs, gobs of gooey bubble gum, cellophane from old bologna, rubbery, blubbery macaroni, peanut butter caked and dried, curdled milk and crust of pie, rotting melons, dried up mustard, eggshells mixed with lemon custard, cold french fries, and red meat, yellow lumps of stream of wheat. At last the garbage reached so high that finally it touched the sky, and none of her friends would come to play, and all the neighbors moved away. And Sarah, Cynthia, Sylvia Stout said, "Okay, I'll take the garbage out." But then, of course, it was too late. The garbage reached across the state, from New York to the Golden Gate, and there in the garbage she did hate, as Sarah met an awful fate, which I cannot right now relate, because the hour is much too late. But children, remember Sarah Stout, and always take the garbage out. I don't think I could do that with Peppa Pig voice. I could try, but I just don't know that I could do that. Have y'all ever heard the story of the sword and the stone? I think it's a, what do you call it, a fable, something like that. But what it's about, and we'll just touch on it. Long ago, there was a land without a king. Now, if you got a land, you need a king. "I will be king," said the tall, fat man. "I will be king," said the short, thin man. "I will be king," said the tall, thin man. "I will be king," said the short, fat man. And so there was a war. Everybody wanted to be king. Old men fought. Young men fought. The young boys hid in the bushes and watched. Among them was Arthur, a fellow by the name of Arthur. He was hiding, and he was watching these people fight back and forth about who would be king. "I'll be king. I'll be king. I'll be king. You be king. We'll be king. Who'll be king?" I don't know. They kept fighting and kept fighting and kept fighting. "The war must end," said the people. They went to see Merlin, who knew many things. Some said he even knew magic. "We need a king," said the people. Everybody wanted a king. Merlin smiled and waved his arms. A great sword and a great stone grew out of the earth. "He who pulls the sword out of the stone will be king," Merlin said. "There's the sword and there's the stone, and the test is whoever can pull the sword out of the stone, that's the one that's meant to be king." So they began to pull. Short men would come, tall men would come, fat men would come. "I can," said the tall, fat man. He pulled and pulled and pulled, but he couldn't pull the sword out of the stone. But the tall, fat man could not pull the sword from the stone. "I can," said the short, thin man. He pulled and pulled and pulled, but he couldn't pull it out either. But the short, thin man could not pull the sword from the stone. I can, said the short, thin man and the short, fat man, and they all tried, and they all tried, and they all tried. But they could not pull the sword from the stone. All kinds of people tried. No one could pull the sword from the stone. So the war went on. Nobody knew who was supposed to be king. Old men still fought. Young men still fought. The young boys still hid in the bushes and watched. And Arthur was still among them, watching from the bushes. One day, Arthur met an old man who had lost his sword. Arthur helped him to look for it. He couldn't find it. Then Arthur searched and searched and searched. Soon he came upon the great sword in the great stone. Arthur saw the sword. He saw the stone. He saw the sword in the stone. Arthur reached over and pulled the sword out of the stone, and out it came. The old man shouted, "Long live the king! Long live King Arthur!" Arthur was surprised. The people were surprised. The tall, fat man, the short, thin man, the tall, thin man, and the short, fat man were all surprised. because Arthur pulled the sword out of the stone. Only the old man was not surprised. The old man was Merlin, and he knew all along that Arthur would be king. Now the war was over. The people got their king. Arthur was just a boy, but he was the best king ever. But you know what? Arthur didn't know that he could pull that sword from the stone. And nobody knew that Arthur could pull that sword from the stone until he tried. And you know, there's nothing that you can't do if you'll try. How many of y'all got a computer? Y'all got computers? I know Caleb has a small computer, and Caleb uses a little computer. How many of y'all got a computer? Hey, I got news for you. Everybody has a computer. It's up here. And you've got the best computer ever right up here. It's between this ear and this ear. You know what? One day I came to pick up Caleb, and there's a little girl that gets on the bus, and I was doing this for her. I was showing her how to do her finger. You know how you take your finger and you move your finger like that? And I was showing her how to do that, and I was trying to teach her how to do that. And we got to be friends, and I talk to her every day when I come to pick up Caleb. And she asked me one day, she said, "How did your ears get so big?" And I said, well, you should have seen them before my head caught up with them. They were really big. In fact, one of my passwords on my computer is, what was your nickname in high school? And my nickname was Ears. So be proud of who you are and be proud of what you got. But hey, remember, you got the best computer of all between those ears. And there's no telling what you can do. Well, you can think of stuff, you can make up stuff, you can talk about stuff, you can come up with all kinds of stuff. Just be careful what you put in, because what you put in is what's going to come out. So read the good stuff and do your best, and I will see you guys next week. Have a great weekend. God bless you guys. And remember, Granddad loves you. Bye.